Matthew, good afternoon.
Konnichiwa. Gentlemen,
Konnichiwa.
how are you?
Yeah. How's the off-season going, Matty?
Yeah, pretty good so far. Going good. Just me and Trish and I are coming back. We just visited a mate up at the Central Coast. Trish is just behind the wheel to Trish left lane. Just left lane. Just don't reverse into the bins, mate. Okay. Mate. I tell you, I used to hate Mondays, but Monday's my favourite day of the week now. It's just it's great, fantastic.
Why did you hate Mondays, Matthew? What was it about Mondays that irked you?
I don't know. Like it's almost like, back in the day when you're a kid, you just dreaded Sunday nights. The melancholy started. And Mondays were always difficult. And then a dear mate of mine said to me, Matty, you've got to learn to love Mondays. It's 1/7 of your life. And I went, he's right. So Mondays, I just throw myself into Mondays now. It's a discipline. But, I go down, I have breakfast, go and have lunch, have a couple of drinks. And, long live Mondays. It's good. Bob Geldof was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong. You know what I used to despise when you're on school holidays and then they would start putting the back-to-school ads?
Oh.
And it was, you had your Christmas holiday, like Christmas was on, New Year's, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks into January holiday, they start talking about you got to get your Clark shoes. And you just go,
you go to get the Butter Scouts.
Yeah.
You get the mate. Matthew, your foot hasn't grown at all.
They were the days. What did
good afternoon yesterday, Fletch.
Yes,
had a great time.
We did. We went, Matthew and I and the girls hung out for a little while. And
nice cheap lunch. It was good. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's off his head. But I tell you what got me was
what was the bill? Tell us roughly.
Oh, mate, put it this way: $50 scallops. Unbelievable.
Potato scallops.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're paying for the view.
What did you say? Hindy once paid how much for something? Was it a scallop?
That one.
Oh, was that
same
one?
joint?
Same joint.
Yeah, it's $52 for a scallop.
Oh.
It was nice, but
Yeah.
it's not like your 20 cent.
Okay, what do you do, boys, when you go to these restaurants, flashy restaurants like that, and the bill is already quite abrasive? Let's call it that. And then when they offer the thing up and it says tip.
Okay.
What do you do?
We had this discussion yesterday.
Yeah. You don't tip on alcohol.
Patricia,
You don't tip on alcohol.
Yeah. Trish was a big discussion yesterday. Trish didn't want to tip. She said the 10%. Trish left lane, mate. It was Trish. Trish didn't want to tip yesterday. It was a point of discussion.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Joel. Like what happens is they, particularly overseas, they whack 20% on, and then they still want the tip. It's like, yeah.
Well, that's when you got to. That's a group booking. When you go overseas, it's a sneaky thing, and they'll say service tip because it was over 10 people. You know when you're going on a big, if you got friends. So, but get 2 bills, especially when you go on these flash joints. Say, listen, can you break the alcohol up in the food up, and you just tip on the alcohol?
Okay.
That's
just on the food, you mean?
On the food, not the alcohol.
What about fast food franchises, boys? And they sponsor us, some of those from time to time. What about the latest go is, would you like to donate to charity on top of that?
Yeah, I'm donating.
Are you donating?
Ronald McDonald House.
Through the fast food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Roundup. Coles and Woolies do it too. I'm a mad Roundupper.
Yeah, but it goes down like a lead balloon for some.
It's like
I don't like the ones. The hawkers, and a lot of them are to and froms from overseas. They get there and they get employed, and they actually harass you. Do you want to? And I just go, no, mate. And the other thing too. Oftentimes you walk along Pitt Street Mall, and they'll get there. They do want to donate, and next thing you walk along, and 5 meters to the left, you got some poor cobber who's laying there. You just go, mate, I'd rather give him the $10 than some other blokes who gets,
trying to say.
And people go, I shouldn't do that because they spend it on alcohol. Well, mate, if you're in that, whatever, they give you a bit of respite.
Yeah, that's right.
What about the bears? The bears that are endangered because they put them in cages and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether, I think sometimes bears would be having a good life in not in a cage, but getting fed and stuff. Don't know about
it breaks my heart. I've got to turn the channel when I say it. Honestly, it breaks my heart. I just, mate, I don't know. Should I say, like, honestly, if someone said to me, put down a human or put down an animal, give me a human any day of the week.
How was the Spring Carnival for you, Matty? Was you success or no?
Left lane, Trish. not that great.
No.
A little up and down. I got J-Mac a couple of times, but yeah, mate. Overall, not great. Not a disaster, but not great. How'd the sugar files go?
Oh, the sugar files are in deep trouble.
They're gone.
I think the green curtain's got to come up for the sugar
They're
files.
Loaded question.
Yeah.
They're like those Russian bears. Just got to put them down, I'm saying.
Yeah, they got to go. They got to go.
Bullet to the melon. These things.
What about the Trump news? Did you like that? Were you a Trump man?
You know what, Joel? I'm not a massive Trump man, but I tell you what, but one thing I despise more is the fact that you get people, the rich elite, telling good, hard-working, working-class people what to do.
Oh, 100%.
And I just think some of that stuff is disgraceful. When you get people like Beyonce and even like, standing up, all the stars saying, you need to vote this way. Now, I think when Beyonce and Lady Gaga get on their soapbox and basically tell people who they should vote for. Now, if I'm a coal miner in Pittsburgh, do I really care what they think?
No.
Like seriously, even like it amazes me with Springsteen, because Springsteen's like his audience is through real America, small town America, and I think if you're a pop star, movie star, and anything, just stay out of it.
Yeah.
And I've had people say to me, "What do you think about Trump getting back in?" I don't care. It's not my country.
I'll tell you what, boys. I put on the Joe Rogan podcast with Trump, and it goes for 3 hours. I could not stop listening to it.
Is he full of shit, though?
No, that's what I think, that he's quite honest about a lot of stuff. He is, Brian, and he wins you over by the end.
He doesn't pay his contractors.
Does he not?
No, I've told you this deep dive. He's not paying his chippies. He's not paying his punters.
Really?
Yep. Liquidates them. Says I'm not paying you.
Wow.
But I reckon most people like Joel, Fletch, when you speak to them about get in, most people go, "You beauty," not so much because they support Trump, because of the opposition party and the elites who keep telling people what they should be doing. It's very easy for someone who's worth $600 million to get there and say, well, you follow this and follow that. You got to be kidding me. So
well, let's talk about rugby.
Anyway,
let's talk about rugby league, Matthew. Before we get into the Pacific Championships, you brought this to my attention. What did you make of the Brisbane Broncos with spew buckets? You got your own individual spew bucket.
What about that pulling up? Doesn't that make a statement from Madge getting there and saying, "Righto, boys, here it is." It's just a little bit of an indication of what's going to happen here. I think look, it's one of those things at the moment. I mean,
oh, we just lost him.
Oh, it must be going through.
I think he's hung up to tell Trish to turn left.
Yeah,
left lane.
I think he's going through. I reckon he's at Pete's Ridge.
Yeah.
It's not good there.
Joel's Bridge.
Pete's Ridge.
We'll get him back in a moment.
Hello, boys.
You're back.
You got us back on the hook there. That was good.
Sorry, boys, just going through Turramurra.
Oh.
Sorry, left lane, Trish. And but the buckets. I mean, back in the day, remember blokes would come back carrying a little bit of timber and they just make them run. I think that's a little bit over the top, but I think for Madge, the bucket's a statement. Just going, righto, boys, the fun times when you turn up and train and we're just going to work hard. I think Madge, I'm certain of it. I think he'll be a success there. I think it's exactly what the Broncos need. Because, the thing about it is, you see it oftentimes with teams, and the Broncos, I think, is a classic example of it, is that talent should be the icing on top of the cake. When you rely on talent, you're headed for failure. Great teams always, mate, their basis is hard work, tough defence, the ability to grind, physical. Teams don't want to play against you, and the talent on top, that's the bonus. All the very best teams, like the great Green Machine sides with Sheensy, they were brilliant with the football. That's what you remember them by. But, mate, they were so physical and they could beat you up. They were just, you hated playing against them.
Hey, Matty, do we get them back too early? I mean, we've got spew buckets, and Madge is not the only team to do it. There's a number of teams back, but 2024 season only finished yesterday.
Yeah, I think that, what do they do? Well,
it's 10 weeks,
I'm just
isn't
trying to...
I think they get 10 weeks off if you're like a 10-year player. Isn't that what the RLP rules?
I think so, Fletch. They do. I think the minimum is something like 8 to 10 weeks. And my understanding most of the time, like the Melbourne Storm boys, a lot of those blokes that have been in the system for more than 6 or 7 years, they get more time off because of the fact that, they basically build that base, and they don't need that long pre-season. But I think for a lot of the younger blokes, when they're more than for just that season, what's ahead, but for the future seasons, just building that base of fitness and strength. So, listen to me, Kelvin Giles.
but if it is 10 weeks, right? If you think about this, if it is 10 weeks, 10 weeks from today is about mid-Feb.
Yeah, so Isaiah Yeo will have it. They're saying he'll have about 6 weeks pre-season.
Is that right?
Well, he can come back. He can come back before if he wants to.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's not allowed to come back. He's not allowed. He can train himself, but he can't go to the Penrith Panthers.
But so 10 weeks today, what does that take? It takes you sort of mid-December, mid-January, almost the 1st of February is about 10 weeks.
Yep.
And then
see, I'd break the rule.
Yeah.
See, I'd break the rule. If I'm you need 10 weeks off from a certain point. I'm back before that. I'd break the rule. I want to come back because, as you blokes know, the success of your season personally is dependent on the quality of your off season and your preparation. And so if they said to me, you don't need to be back till early January, I'd make sure I'm back a long time before that.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to. Pretty sure that was the rule. I mean, of course you can,
but not to headquarters. You reckon?
Yeah.
I think you're right, Fletch. I don't think you can. It's an NFL thing. I don't think they can even use the gymnasium.
No.
The official sessions. So you've got to go elsewhere. But you've got to keep yourself fit. You don't want to turn up. You don't want to turn up to pre-season. You don't want to turn up to pre-season, carrying weight because for most of your pre-season, all you're working on get it off. So you got to turn up. You've got to turn up in reasonable shape.
Most of them are pretty good. They look after themselves. I tell you who's looking fit. The two Tommies, Matthew, Dearden and Trbojevic. Yesterday they were dynamite.
Oh, mate, how good is it for young Tom Dearden? We a lot of times, we've said numerous times, Fletch, we've had a bit to do with him with the show at different, and he's just such a great bloke. It's just a perfect example of just character. He's got great character. He's not the biggest bloke. He's not the fastest bloke, not the most skillful bloke, but he's just tenacious and he's tough, mate. He's a great kid, and Tom Trbojevic is just, mate, wow. You look at Manly, if he can keep himself on the field and fit, well, they're just top 4 side every year.
Where are you going to play him? If you're Anthony Seibold, after what we've seen him do at Origin level and now Test level, is there an argument to say, well, you can play centre, so you'll get, you'll save your legs, but when we've got the ball, and good ball, you can just do what you want. You can roam, if you want to, like I said.
I reckon you can, because, mate, Lehigh, Sua'ali'i at fullback, mate, Lehigh is just a class act. So if you're going to play Tommy in the centres and just reduce his workload as far as running, but just give him that ability to say, Tommy, look, if you're sitting up a short side in attack, nothing's on, just swing the other side. He's got the intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, he's football smarts to do it. Yeah, I think it's worthwhile because, mate, I love Lehigh Sua'ali'i as a player, mate. He's fantastic.
You know what I was thinking about with Lomax and Val, who both want to play in the centres and both don't want to play on the wing, but the value they can give you at the backfield with the carries and getting out of trouble. But why can't you play them on the wing, but when you get into the good ball, just slide them in one?
Yeah, no.
Why can't you do that?
Tackle 3 or 4, right? Drop back.
Yeah.
Go on, Valdust.
Yeah.
Get back there.
Yeah, I just, mate, I don't know what it is, whether it's just traditional thinking where you always think that centre's the more glamour position, but we've said all year, I think a really great winger, what he can give you is more than he can in the centres. I mean, Trbojevic is different. You get really great centres that can give you that little bit of extra or, football smarts and swing around the field. But wingers, mate, the amount of work they do and how important they are to setting up the set and all those things, I just can't believe that players these days see wearing the 2 or the 5 is a demotion. I don't get it.
Matty, last show for us for the year. What are you doing in the break? What's the plans?
Left lane, Trish. Jesus Christ. Mate, well, we're going to go overseas, but unfortunately, my dog's Charlie's crook, so we're just going to stay. We bought a book the other day, which is all the hotels in and around New South Wales where you can take a dog. Yeah. So we're going to do a bit of a road trip.
Right.
Just Port Macquarie, Coffs Harbour.
I can see the headline now. Matty Johns dogging throughout New South Wales. I'd be up for that.
Johns leaves turd under the bed.
I'd be up for that. Before you go, Matthew, what did you think of Joseph Suaalii's effort? in the
how
Test
good.
match.
Oh, mate, so happy for him. Fantastic young bloke. I'm not a Union man, at all, but great to see him just, get into that realm straight away, silence a lot of the critics. And you just see the effect that a great player, the confidence it gives everybody else. And I know he's only one bloke, and people say, but I've got no doubt he doesn't play last night, they don't win. It's just the confidence he gave everybody else. Great attacking players who have got that really positive arrogance, that bit of swagger. It just bleeds through the team.
Matty Johns, thanks for being on the run home with Joel and Fletch in 2024. Have yourself a great break, and Trish, get in that left lane, will you?
Enjoy Bonnie Hills. I reckon Bonnie Hills.
Bonnie Hills.
They love a bit of dogging up there. So off you go, MJ.
Yeah, the old Coles car park.
Yeah,
good on you, boys.
It's all about the
Good on you, Matty. See you, Trish.
Beam.
Have a great break,
Trish.
you two, and we appreciate that once again. Chemist Warehouse have supported Matty Johns a lot throughout the year as well. We appreciate that. The run home with Joel and Fletch.